you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
all in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. The Eye Test with Pierre, McGuire, and Jimmy Murphy.
The Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche. And after 22 years, Raymond Moore
The sickest NHL podcast. It's gonna be sick.
And welcome to another edition of the Eye Test here in the Sick Podcast Network. He is Pierre McGuire. I am Jimmy Murphy. How are you, Pierre?
Good. I'm watching the last minute and something of the Buffalo-Carolina game. Carolina up 2-1. Rasmus Andersson just stopped Sebastian Aho in an empty net situation. And, Buffalo just can't score. This Bussy kid is putting on a show and a half.
Yep. It was interesting right before we came on, Pierre. I actually saw a tweet from Bussy's father. Had a picture of him and Henrik Lundqvist when Bussy was about 12 years old. It's pretty cool. Lundqvist gave him some love there.
I must have been 13.
I know, right? Yeah.
I'm only joking.
So, of course, it's Martin Luther King Day in the States. So some matinee hockey, some early games. One of them you will be getting to. We're going to be starting the questions early here because Pierre has to leave at 4:30 to do the pregame for the Penguins. So they're up now. Actually, before that, though, we got Colorado hosting the Capitals, and then the Kraken and Penguins at 5 Eastern. And then at 6 Eastern, the Panthers hosting the Sharks. Of course, that game was moved ahead to 6, Pierre, because the University of Miami, of course, is playing for the national championship. Yep. So who do you like in that game, Miami and Indiana?
I'm going with Indiana.
I'm going the other way. So we're going head-to-head.
You're just doing that because they beat Notre Dame.
You're right. Just makes Notre Dame look better. Anyhow, great weekend of hockey. Lots going on, Pierre, both on and off the ice. Let's start off in the last 24 hours. We've had two notable trades. It started last night. The Calgary Flames finally moved defenseman Rasmus Andersson. And after everything, he ends up in Vegas where he originally wanted to be and go if he was dealt from the Flames. Just your take on that and what this means now going forward for the Flames. Is this the beginning of multiple moves, you think, coming?
Oh, I would say so. Yeah, I would say so. But, Zach Whitecloud's a good pickup. By the way, for those in the media that continually report that Zach Whitecloud is 29, got news for you. Rasmus Andersson is 29 too, just so we're clear.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're wishing a death sentence on Calgary because they got a 29-year-old player. Calgary just dated a 29-year-old player.
Yeah.
And they got at least one first-round pick and maybe two. You never know.
Yep.
So and they got a good prospect. Weeby's a good prospect. I'd have him probably as a B- B prospect, that type of prospect out of North Dakota. So that's fine. I don't mind what Craig Conroy did there. He did it. It's interesting, though. They trade Noah Hannafin to Vegas. They trade Rasmus Andersson to Vegas. So it's interesting.
Those guys played a lot together as a pairing when they were back with the Flames when Hannafin was there. So there's a familiarity. I think that might have been – I'm just guessing. I haven't seen him say it, but I would imagine that was part of the reason he wouldn't mind going to the Knights there. And it was interesting. Pierre, I've been hearing that the Bruins were pushing hard for him. For Andersson there, but he just wouldn't sign an extension. Didn't even sign one with Vegas there. So I think a good move by Don Sweeney to not give up the farm if you weren't going to get an extension in place, Pierre.
I wouldn't have traded it's a high price rental. If you don't think you're winning the cup, Vegas thinks they're going to win the cup. Boston and Vegas are in two totally different stratospheres. I don't have a problem with Boston not getting the player.
Yep.
I know you were reporting it pretty heavy. You were one of the first guys that had it. In fact, I think you were the first guy that had it. So congratulations to you. But the truth is that if I'm Boston, I wouldn't be held hostage.
Yeah.
No way.
I wouldn't have given up either of my first round picks. So it didn't make sense. Pierre, and then today, a guy that we've heard on the block for a while now finally gets moved, and that's Keifer Sherwood goes to the San Jose Sharks, Pierre. In exchange for prospect defenseman Cole Clayton and second-round picks in both 2026 and 2027. Before we get to the Vancouver part of this, because there's a lot there, I just want to ask you, when you see the Sharks go out and make a move like this, like they're buyers right now, I don't know about you, but I think 4 months ago, I wouldn't have been expecting them to be buyers on January 19th, Pierre.
It's a reward to the coaches and the players for having a really good season, being relevant at this time of the year, and really having a legitimate chance to maybe be a wild card position in the playoffs. So it's a reward to all the players that have competed really hard. They should be really proud there. Mike Greer and his staff with Dougie Waite and everybody else. And obviously we had Ryan Warsofsky on the show, Brian Wiseman, real good hockey people, and they've done a good job. They deserve all kinds of credit. And, the Celebrini kid's not bad either. It's interesting because you see Nick Leddy got put on waivers yesterday.
Yeah, and he hasn't cleared, so he's getting sent down to the Barracuda. Yeah.
Right, and which is kind of interesting because that opens up money.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see. Maybe Mike Greer's not done there.
I don't think they're done. That's I've read all these different capsulizations of the trade, but the one that's being forgotten is Leddy being sent down.
Yeah, I'm glad
that opens up a whack of dough.
Yep,
I don't think they're done.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Let's look at the Vancouver side. I mean, as we said, we've been expecting Sherwood to get moved. I think, much like with the Flames, Pierre, as you and I discussed earlier today by phone, this is probably a domino effect is going to go in right now, and we're going to see more guys moved out of there. I think the Flames and the Canucks are going to be two very busy teams over the next month and a half.
I think they will. I think watch for the Rangers. They play in Anaheim tonight. It's going to be interesting because you got Trouba playing, you got Kreider playing.
Yeah.
Kreider's actually back. The Ranger thing is going to be interesting to follow.
Yeah. I think it's going to be how there's guys that teams want here, right? But it's finding the right fit. It's moving some pretty big contracts. It's getting players to agree to waive. There's a lot of heavy lifting, I think, ahead for Chris Drury. It's going to be interesting to see how he gets out of this. And, Pierre, I think, and look, I don't want to keep beating a dead horse, but if he doesn't handle this correctly and they don't set themselves up nice for this so-called retool, you got to evaluate where he is after that. I mean, this is.
But how are you going to know that, Jimmy? They do such an amazing job manipulating the media in New York. They do it. Yeah. I give them full credit. Like, it's smart. They've had an overrated team for a long time. We've talked about it ad nauseum on this show. Now all of a sudden their fans are figuring it out. They are. Their fans are figuring it out. But I don't see how he's going to be held accountable. I don't. He's going to keep going, and he's going to try to improve his team. And good, that's his job. He should.
Right.
He should try to improve his team. I think the one that's going to be interesting to watch is going to be Philadelphia. They play in Vegas tonight. They're struggling. You know, they've lost 5 in a row now, Jimmy.
I know. It feels like what it was about 10 days ago. They were pushing for a wild card spot. It felt like they were really maybe ahead of schedule in terms of their rebuild, but they've come back down to earth. And,
that's going to be one that's, I don't think it's getting enough play right now. And you got to remember how big football, the lure of football, pro football is so huge. So even though the Eagles got knocked out the week before, people are still watching football. And so the Flyers really haven't dominated the news cycle yet, I don't think, in their town.
No.
But I think they're going to start to get some attention now. And if they don't get winning here soon, I think you're going to see some really interesting things go on.
Yeah, it's interesting. Looking at the Eastern Conference standings right now, let's start where the Flyers are, right? So they're 52 points. And then right below them, you have Ottawa and Columbus at 51. Jersey at 50, and the Rangers at 48. Do you see out of those 5 teams I just listed there, can you see any of them still making the playoffs?
Oh, yeah, I do, because it's just so fluid right now. I wouldn't write anybody off right now. Even the Rangers I wouldn't write off. But, you don't have a lot. It's like I said to Alex Adams, who I do the Ottawa podcast with.
Good transition.
If you're Ottawa and you go into Columbus tomorrow and you go into Nashville on Thursday and you lose both those games, you're probably done, because the next amount of games are home against Carolina, home against Vegas, home against Colorado, home against Jersey. The Carolina-Vegas thing is a back-to-back.
Oh, yeah.
So if you lose the next 2 and you've already lost the previous 2, Montreal obviously in overtime and then yesterday Detroit in overtime, I don't know how you can make that up with 50 or less games to go. I don't see how you can do it.
Well, good transition there, because obviously Ottawa was a hot topic over the last 48 hours after Jake Sanderson. And look, we're kind of on different sides of this, Pierre, but I after talking to you today, I definitely can see it more from your side than I did before. It just took me aback a little to see a player single out another teammate. Yeah. Usually you'll call out a team you know, your whole team as a group. But just to see him, and also the fact that it's a goalie, and that goalie had, what was it, 11 games in a row he had started or something at that point. I just didn't think it was a good look at first. But sitting back now and thinking about it, you know, as you pointed out to me, maybe there's a lot more to it than we know, and there's more layers.
They're trying to change the culture there.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they traded Josh Norris last year. It's not because Josh wasn't a good part of their thing. Josh is an injured player, just got injured again. You know, they traded him for Dylan Cousins. They wanted to make their players feel uncomfortable last year. They weren't in a rush to trade Josh Norris, but when they saw the opportunity, they said, you know what? We're going to get our guys going here. And so they did. It's not a pleasant thing to do. It doesn't make you feel better as a management person. Oh, yeah, we're trying to change the culture. We're going to trade one of our best guys out of here because everybody's too comfy cozy. So they traded Josh. Josh went out and they made the playoffs. That's a compliment to them. They deserve it.
Yep.
But I just think that guys like Sanderson, guys like Tkachuk, guys like Stützle, they're incredibly intense people. They're really proud men. And they are tired of not achieving to the level that they should. They're tired of it. And so look at Levy's a good goalie. He is. And you just made a great point, Jimmy. He played a lot of games in a row, but he wasn't making saves.
No.
And they want to win. Too bad. Like I know people are going to say, oh, he's ruthless. No, I'm not. I just know how it works.
Yep.
I know how guys think, and they're tired of the country club atmosphere. I'm not saying Levy's part of that, but they want to hold each other accountable, and that's what's going to happen the rest of the way. Yep. And I wouldn't be surprised, just knowing Jake, I wouldn't be surprised if Jake talked to Levy yesterday when they got, they arrived at 2 a.m. They played at 5 p.m.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if he said, hey, can we have breakfast or can we have a coffee together and talk it out? I wouldn't be surprised if that happened.
And it was deja vu on the ice again as they blew another 2-goal lead, Pierre. Yeah. So that's 2 games straight, 2 in 2 days that they do this. And like you said, they're trying to change this culture right now. But this is a team that is, we said this last week, they had seemed to turn a corner in terms of winning their fans back and getting the buzz around the team. And also when they had the Leafs or the Canadiens in town, it wasn't as dominated by the visiting team's fans as it was by Sens fans. That's gone now. And you saw Jake Sanderson also complain about that, said it didn't feel like a home game.
His father would know about that. I had his father in Hartford, and I had Ridley Gregg's dad in Hartford too. And we would play Boston, we'd play the Rangers, and we'd play the Islanders. And our building was probably more pro-Islanders, pro-Rangers, pro-Boston than it was pro-Whaler. That's a hard environment. We had to do it 3 times.
Yep.
In Ottawa, I think they have to do it twice. I really do. I think Toronto and Montreal. They're lucky Quebec's not in the league still, honestly. but I can. It's hard to do. It's hard to deal with that, and I can understand the frustration. But I will say this: I've lived in Ottawa 2 different times in my life. I've spent a significant amount of my adult life in Ottawa, whether it's covering games, scouting games, working in a front office, working as a coach. It's one of the most underappreciated neighborhoods in all of Canada. Probably all of North America. I think the fans are hockey mad in a good way, not a bad way. They just don't have the actual population that a lot of these other NHL cities do.
Right.
And they got a lot of people that are transplanted there, because they come in for government work and things like that. So it's a unique market that way. But I would tell you one thing, that is a great hockey market. Ottawa is a fantastic hockey market.
It is, and I want to see them dominating the noise in the stands like they were last year. Pierre, on the other side of that game on Saturday, Montreal Canadiens get a nice comeback win there. They're getting some guys back. They're getting healthy. This is a good time for this to happen, I think, as you go into this rush of games before the Olympics. You looking at the lineup, who do you see coming out as these guys come back?
They got to think about Bolduc. That's easy for me to say right away. Bolduc's got to be thinking about – I mean, he just hasn't done what he's supposed to do. And I don't see him being a fourth-line player. That's just not going to be in his repertoire. So I would imagine they're probably looking at him. Jake Evans was back the other day. Good for him. That makes a difference for Montreal. I would say that you'll see some of the bottom 6 guys that will probably be in a precarious position for Montreal, and I would say Bolduc would be one of them. And one other thing too, Montreal, they don't make too many mistakes. Jacob Fowler needed to go down. He needs to do some more work. I'm the head of the Jacob Fowler fan club, but I understand how it works, and he needs to go. he was giving up way too many short side goals.
Mhm.
And back in the day when I worked with a lot of really good people, they used to call that the American League side. When you give up goals on the short side, they call it the American League side.
Remember you
But if
telling
you
me
give up too many of them, guess where you go? You
Yep.
go back to the American League.
There you go. It's not bad there. One guy I want to ask you about, I'm wondering if you think he does find a regular spot in the lineup again, and that's Patrick Laine. What do you think is going to happen with him, Pierre?
That's a different question than
It's a
Kirby
big
Doc.
question, right?
It's a big question. No, it is. I don't see him. He's a power play specialist. Who's he replacing on the power play? He's
Yeah.
not replacing Demidov. He's not replacing Slavkovsky. He's not replacing Cole Caulfield. He's not replacing Lane Hudson. He's not replacing, you pick Nick Suzuki. You're not replacing who's he replacing?
Yep.
So I think the Laine thing, I feel bad saying this because, man, that guy's got a gift of shooting a puck and scoring. He does. He's got a gift for that. But I don't know if there's enough pace in his game anymore. We'll see. I don't like to sell guys short until I see him back.
Mm-hmm.
But this is going to be a big leap for him. For him to get back and earn a spot, it's going to be a big leap for him.
All right. As we said, Pierre's got to leave early. So we're going to start our Q&A right now. I'll get to the sponsors and my picks for the night after Pierre leaves. So let's rock them out. What do we got? Nara Haviders. Good afternoon, gentlemen. If and when Hage does sign, does Hage immediately come to the NHL, or does he sign his contract for next year and sign a PTO in Laval like Fowler did last year?
I'll be really surprised if he doesn't sign an NHL deal. There was no room for Fowler to be in Montreal last year. There really wasn't. And so they did the right thing. They put him in Laval, and he did really well there, obviously. Hage is a different story.
All right. Next question. What do we got? David Robinson. What's up, Dave? How about that UMass Lowell? Yeah, that's right. We haven't spoken about this, Pierre. How about that UMass Lowell BU fight? I can't recall a fight at the many UMass Lowell games I've been to. 2-game suspension enough or no?
It's enough. Part of it is the commissioners of these leagues don't want to start handing out these big suspensions for that because that'll stop kids from coming down, really good players coming down from Canada because they'll miss times, and the college season's not that long. So they got to be concerned about that. I think 2 games is fine. Sasha Boisvert is one of the guys that obviously was involved in the fight. He's a first-round pick. So I understand, why the 2-game suspension. And people, well, you shouldn't be doing it that way. That's part of the realistic part of how they're evaluating it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's like the Winter Classic. Marchand, reefs Mike Matheson from behind.
Oh, yeah, the game before. Yep.
Yeah, the game before. You think he's the face of the Winter Classic. You think they're going to sit him out? No, exactly. It's just the reality of the business. It's not fair. Doesn't mean it's right, but that's just how the business works.
Yeah. Do you think, obviously the fans loved it, Pierre. Do you think we'll see that creep into college hockey more? Fighting? Yeah.
No, because of mass.
Yeah, that's what
full mass.
Yeah.
Here's the bit I'm telling you, and I can speak to it from experience. When you leave college hockey and you've been wearing a mask your whole career,
you think you're invincible.
And then you dive face first in front of shots, use your head as a battering ram to hit people. Mm-hmm. You push back in scrums all the time. Everybody cross checks to the head because nobody's getting hurt. When you turn pro and you try to do that, you lose your teeth. You get cuts in a lot of places you shouldn't, or you have to fight.
Yep. It's a rude awakening for sure.
I've seen some guys that have completely embraced it, and I've seen other guys who should have had glorious pro careers couldn't play.
Yeah, it's very true. All right, next question. What do we got? Tag N2H. Guys, do you think that both wildcard teams in the East will come out in the Atlantic Division?
Yes, we said that in August, and we'll say it again. Yes.
Yep. All right. Next question. David Robinson again. Is Vegas, by loading up and trading future picks, going to regret being so aggressive in a couple of years?
No, everybody said that in year
one. They haven't yet.
They haven't yet. You know what they do? So here's the thing that Vegas is doing as well or better than anybody. They get guys like Zach Whitecloud. Okay, we'll just use him as an example. Mm-hmm. He's a kid that grew up near Brandon, Manitoba, went to Bemidji State, had an opportunity at a rookie development camp in LA, and they didn't sign him. Then because McCrimmon knows all that area very well of players, they brought him into Vegas. They signed him. And as a 20-year-old, he's playing in the NHL. Well, now he's 29. He's got a wealth of experience. they find players like that. Dorofiev, there's another one for you that just doesn't miss all the time. There's a kid named Bowman there right now that's scoring. They find guys. They're really good at it. They don't run with the herd.
Yep.
And that makes them so good. I've talked to George, and I had dinner over in Ireland in October with George McPhee, and we talked about it. And they have their own philosophy. Eye test is a big part of their philosophy.
Yep, and they can always dip into the college free agent market as well.
Yeah,
so.
all that stuff.
All right, next question. CCU 9990.
He hasn't won a game.
Has been quite poor at the shootout this year. Is it possible for the coach to swap the starter for the backup if he thinks it gives him a better chance to win?
It's actually been done.
Yeah, great idea.
On more than one occasion.
Yep.
I just don't know if they're prepared to do that, but it's been done.
It is definitely not against the rules. You can do it. All right, next question. Gabriel Land. Gabe says, I'm not a Buffalo fan, but I would like to see them end this drought. Starting to get concerned after today's game. At what point does Yarmo get aggressive?
He's already been aggressive.
Right now.
He's hired different people in the front office, different eyeballs, different voices. That'll continue. I don't think anybody there that's from the previous regime should be very comfortable. That's just, hey, look, that's the hard part of the business. It really is. So I think that he's already been aggressive. He will continue to be aggressive. And I think he'll do some good work there. It's not like Kevin Adams left the cupboard bare. There's some very good prospects there. There's some very good players there. Now, to be fair, they've been drafted really early too, but there's still some good players there. And I think their future is pretty bright.
Yep. And of course, Tage Thompson just named a player of the week for the NHL. All right, next question. Franco, it feels as though a successful offside challenge can be a momentum changer in the game. How can this be improved to not have it affect the outcome of the game?
Here's what I would say, and I've told Jimmy this. Once the puck touches the top of the blue line, everything's in play.
That's it.
Once the puck touches the top of the blue line, it's in play.
Yep.
So you don't have to worry about offside. Think about the fraction. We talk about, it's just a millimeter. So if you allow that to happen,
then you don't have to worry about
all these things would be blown away. It wouldn't matter.
I agree. All right, next question. Formosan Mu 53. It's $6 million with retention through 2027-28. Would you take Dougie Hamilton in Montreal, and does he fit with Lane Hudson? I would say no.
I would not. I'm with Jimmy.
Yeah.
I would not.
But solid question. All right, next question. Derek Rendell. Hey guys, Pierre, is there any world where Will Cooley could be available out of New York? I feel like he is a Kent Hughes kind of target. Yeah.
I don't think they would trade him. I think he's part of what they want to rebuild with.
But if he's available.
Go
for it.
I would include him in my notes. I would definitely be circling back. Now, to be fair, I don't think Jeff Gorton will be the person calling Chris Drury. I think it'll be Kent Hughes.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, if the Canadiens aren't going to be able to take part in this fire sale with New York, because there's some bad history there. All right, next question. Jerb 76 PK. Which top prospect for the Habs would you be willing to give up for the right piece?
It's a loaded question because I don't know what he means by the right piece, but I would think about one of their defense prospects. It wouldn't be somebody that's on the rot. Well, I shouldn't say that. I wouldn't be afraid to move one of their defense prospects. The only one I would not be in a rush, besides Lane Hudson and Gooley, obviously, is Arbor.
Okay.
Arbor keeps getting better.
So Reinbacker's fair game right now.
Well, I said one of their prospects. I didn't say him, but one of their prospects.
All right, next question. Be right 33. Pierre, if a player has a no movement clause, does that mean they can't be moved to their current club's farm team?
Unless they agree to it.
Good question.
No move means no move.
All right.
It's not the same as no move is not the same as a no trade.
Exactly. That's one of the big differences right there.
That's a big part of the difference, yes.
All right, next question. Niagara Heavyweights 141. Habs are playing well. They may pick somewhere in the 20s. Is it a positive that big forwards like Rubrook, Belchetz seem to be sliding down the rankings on some rough junior years?
Yeah, there are a lot. You're going to see, don't judge by the mid-season ratings. Wait until the spring ratings, the last ratings to see. There'll be guys that'll fluctuate up and down. Some guys get sick. Like I just talked to a player the other day that was deathly ill, deathly ill, and he played 3 games and nobody knew.
Yeah.
No, and he played and he did well, but people are going to say, "Oh, he didn't get any points." So he's, you can just wait till the end of the year. Let it all balance out. You'll see it. You have a better idea.
All right, next question. Ethan Russell, what's up, Ethan? Pierre, is Quinnipiac in your top 5 right now? They look good.
Yeah, no, Ethan,
is
both
good.
two Ethans. He is good.
Yeah.
Our Ethan Russell's good too. I love hearing from
Yeah.
him. I don't have Quinnipiac in the top 5, but I will say this: I have them ahead of Dartmouth right now.
Yeah, I feel bad. Dartmouth has kind of been.
Yeah, they had a good weekend this weekend. It was Clarkson and St. Lawrence. They beat both.
Yeah.
And congrats to Teddy Donato. Big number of wins for Teddy.
Yep.
And at Harvard, and they had a big weekend too at Harvard, which they needed to do. They play Union, believe it or not, today. It started at 4:00, which is kind of weird. And I think that's because Union was over with us at the Friendship 4. So if you could track that score, that'd be good because we got a lot of college people that
0-0 in the first right now.
There you go. Yeah, it started at 4:00 today.
Yeah.
But the team to watch now is, and I know you talked to Wisconsin this last Friday. They lost twice this weekend in Minnesota or Michigan State, so you're not going to be getting any love from Wisconsin.
No, they're not coming on in a while.
Mike Hastings isn't going to be in love with you anytime soon. Watch out for Michigan State. Watch out for Michigan.
Yeah,
both are really starting to hum.
Another team, my neck of the woods here, Pierre, had a great weekend too. Providence with 2 wins over BC.
They did 100%. It's a great point by you. And they beat BC. You're at a great point, Jimmy. Absolutely.
All right, next question. Renaissance Resistor, would the fallout between Drury and Gorton sour any potential trade talks? We were just talking about that.
I don't know. I mean, that's why I think Kent can smooth the waters out. But I can tell you one thing: if you make this stuff personal, it can hurt your team too. You should just do business. You don't have to exchange Christmas cards. You don't have to go out for a beer together. You can go to the board of governors and turn your back on the guy. But if it helps you do business and helps him do business, then you got to do it. The league's not big enough for that kind of stuff.
Yep. All right. Next question. David Robinson, if Don Sweeney is thinking about trading Lowry, does the recent two-goal game help or hinder him in pulling that trigger?
Well, I don't think they're in a rush now, but we'll see.
We will see. And that was on his birthday as well, with his sister in attendance. All right.
I saw his sister read the lineup out.
She's good. Yeah,
that's a different way.
They might hire her part-time with the social media. And
that's a different way to do business, but it was cool. I thought it was different. It was good.
Yeah, she was the star of the siblings weekend. All right, next question. David Robinson, Pierre, any Derek Sanderson stories from either his playing or commentary days? I can still hear his voice criticizing the Whalers back in the day. I love Derek.
I wasn't with the Whalers when Derek was doing the games per se. I was with Pittsburgh though. And we used to listen to tape all the time. Man, he was great. And I just love how he was so.
Him and Fred Kuzik.
He just told the truth. Now maybe you didn't want to hear that.
Yeah.
But I thought he was great. I enjoyed it. It kept me going when you're just late at night and you're like cutting the last piece of tape. Like, oh, that's a good statement by Turk. That was good. Probably the best story I have with Turk is I used to get invited all the time to Bobby Orr's. It was his Hall of Fame up in Perry Sound, and there was a golf tournament and a really nice dinner. It was an amazing event, and was always grateful that Bob actually asked me to go up there, and had a great time doing it. And I had an honor to hang around with Turk up there. He'd always come.
Yeah.
And he was just so cool.
Great
he
guy.
would talk about hockey and talk about all the players and talk about guys, that had been through what he'd been through with addiction stuff.
Amazing story.
Yeah, I had a lot of respect for him. And I talked to I don't have to hide it. My dad went to rehab. My dad, we did an intervention, and I talked to Turk about it. And it was great. Like,
wow.
He gave me tips about it. So it was really good. Yeah, no, I have a lot of respect for Derek. A lot of respect.
All right. One more question, then we'll let Pierre go. What do we got? Gerbs, which teams may be surprise sellers at the deadline? Surprise sellers.
LA?
Man, that's good. That would be a surprise
It
for
would
sure.
be. I think if LA doesn't get going here soon, they might be.
What about Anaheim if they fall back again?
I don't know. Tonight's a big night for Anaheim.
Huge.
Tonight's a big one at home. Your guys that don't like the Rangers are amped up to beat them.
Yep. How about the team you're about to go talk about, the Pittsburgh Penguins, if they were to go on a tailspin?
They're going into Seattle tonight. They got a tough schedule. It's Seattle, then into Calgary, then into Edmonton, which is a back-to-back, then into Van.
Oof.
That's
see what happens out of that.
Yeah, they got it. So the first 3 games, 6 points, they got to take 4 of 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna have to.
They keep surprising me. All right, we'll let you go, Pierre.
No. I got 2 more minutes.
Okay, cool. Couple more questions. What do we got? Renaissance Resistor. Which team could you see having interest in Line A, if any?
I can think of one that would be under the radar, but I just don't know how they pull it off cap-wise.
Mm-hmm.
What about Tampa?
Ooh.
What about Tampa to take up that Stamkos position on the power play?
That would be interesting. Is he still get along with Yarmo from his days in Columbus?
I'm not sure. You got to remember. I'd be surprised. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, Line A and Pierre-Luc Dubois were in the same draft, were they not?
That's right.
And didn't Columbus take Pierre-Luc Dubois? And didn't Winnipeg take Patrick Line?
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Yep. All right.
See what I mean, Jimmy?
Yeah, I do. Next question. Mr. White, Casper Bratt. Hey, boys, I'm not a fan of the soft core being built in New Jersey. What's your take on that, and how is Fitz going to shuffle things around with all these no moves and no trade clauses?
I mean, you're on top of this story better than anybody. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying. I know that right now, but he's just much like Drury. He's got a ton to do there in terms of moving some of those guys. It's going to be interesting. Hamilton, obviously, the biggest one. I think he gets moved, but it'll be interesting to see where.
All right, I got to sign off.
All right, Pierre. Have fun, my friend.
I'll call you later, Jimmy, during the night games.
All right.
Take care, everybody.
There goes Pierre McGuire. He's going to do his Pittsburgh Penguin stuff. And that's it for our questions right now. So let me get to our wonderful sponsor. And, of course, we will start with Vago Italian, where they combine old world classics and new Italian dishes for over 23 years. Private dining rooms for any occasion. They are open Monday to Saturday evenings and lunch from Tuesday to Friday. Located at 1336 Green Avenue in the Westmount borough of Montreal. For reservations, call 514-846-1414. Again, that's 514-846-1414. And, of course, our wonderful friends over at Betway, where you can still go all the way with Betway and bet those beauties. And, of course, they got that wonderful deal going right now. So if you go to that QR code right in front of you, if you're watching, sign up for a new membership. You'll get the new member deal of up to $300 back on your first deposit, even if you lose your first bet. You can also go to the members section on the website. If you're not watching, go to there and fill out your details. You must be 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Always bet responsibly. And this offer is not available in Ontario. Okay, well, one of the games, since it's still tied, I think it's fair game. 1-1 right now, early, with 11:50 left in the opening frame. Washington Capitals are in Denver to face the Avalanche. I had the Avs on the puck line in this, so I think it's still fair game since it's a tie game. -1.5 at +118 value. Then the game that Pierre's about to go preview, the Pittsburgh Penguins, as he said, are in Seattle to face the Kraken. I like the Penguins on the money line at -130. Going to go down to Florida, where Matthew Tkachuk is making his return, but I think Macklin Celebrini and the San Jose Sharks will spoil it, and they beat the Florida Panthers as +154 underdogs. And then we just brought up Jersey there. I think they're going to go out to Calgary. Calgary's just going to be in a rough spot right now. They know the team's about to get dismantled. I just don't like this spot right now, right after that trade for them. So give me the Devils on the puck line, -1.5 at some great value there at +210 value. All right, those are my picks there. Do we have any more questions, Shane? We do have a few. There's Ethan asking me, Jimmy, do you think the Bruins should re-sign Arvidsson? No, Ethan, even though I think he's been finally picking it up and playing good. He's been a good asset. I think he'd be a better asset on the market. I think they should look to move him for a pick. We'll see what's up. And I think that's it. That's the only question we have left. So an early edition of the Eye Test here in the Sick Podcast Network. Thanks to Shane working the boards. Thanks to all of you for your questions. Thanks to everyone for listening and watching. And tomorrow we'll be back with Jeff Marek joining Pierre and me here in the Eye Test. Until then, enjoy all the hockey tonight. Have a good one.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Eye Test with Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.